the Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. Hello and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So we have a lot of royal news to cover today, so we're just going to dive right in. So I just watched a video from the Royal Grift. If you don't know, she does lovely work, so I'll have her channel linked below. But she brought up some very interesting points in her most recent video titled TMZ Backgrid, the Harkles Something Smells Rotten. Now, as we mentioned in my previous video that I did yesterday about how it's a big puzzle and there's a couple of pieces that are just missing and things aren't adding up. Now, we talked about how Mr. Markle has a YouTube channel with the paparazzi Carl Larson. Now look, that is his job. This is how he makes his money. No shame in the game. Most recently, Carl sold some photos to TMZ through Backgrid of Harry and Meghan at the Santa Monica Polo Tournament. Again, it's a little weird how he can be very close to Harry and Meghan, yet Thomas somehow can't get that close to Harry and Meghan, that he has to fly over to London to attend the Platinum Jubilee to be near Harry and Meghan. But we're not going to get into that topic. We're going to get into this one. Friday night, unfortunately, Mr. Markle suffered a medical emergency. We believe it was a stroke. Around 10 o'clock at night, Mr. Markle does live in Rosarito, Mexico, which is on the outskirts of TJ, better known as Tijuana. Now, a backstory, I have lived in San Diego for 22 years. I now live in Texas, but I did live in San Diego for 22 years. San Diego, California is about 2.5 hours away from LA. Now, in San Diego, it is a very beautiful town. It's much like Santa Monica. It's very laid back. But people in San Diego are not obsessed with celebrities. We do not have paparazzi staking out places in San Diego to take photos of celebrities. That's LA, okay? Unless there's a movie premiere and a specific reason, the paparazzi are not going to drive out of their way in traffic to hang around the mall to take photos, because celebrities don't hang out here. And if they do, they don't go out to public places. So again, San Diego is not a paparazzi, celebrity-centric town, unlike Los Angeles. So Mr. Markle was taken to a hospital in Tijuana, Mexico, around 10 o'clock on Monday night. Now, the interesting thing about Tijuana, and I don't mean to be offensive to anyone who lives there, very touristy town. It's a place where a lot of the sailors and the Marines and people under the age of 21 go down and party. There's a whole bunch of clubs down there. People go shopping. It's a tourist trap, not to mention going over the border. It's like bumper to bumper, an hour and a half. So if you're going to Tijuana, Mexico, you got to really want to go. It's not just a 5-minute hop, skip, and a jump. You have to go through over the border, border patrol, police inspection, the whole drill. It's a very long process to go over the border, depending on the time and day that you go. So there's no paparazzi hanging out at the border of Tijuana waiting for a celebrity to come into the hospital. So the fact that he was in Tijuana at 10 o'clock on a Monday night, and all of a sudden somehow somebody is filming him and they immediately know to sell it to Backgrid and then to TMZ, it was within hours it was released. That's really odd. Now, if he was in Los Angeles somewhere, yeah, I can definitely see someone knowing to sell it. But let's be honest here. In TJ, even if it was in Chula Vista, now he was transported from the Tijuana hospital over to Chula Vista, which is the first town right over the border to San Diego. It's right there on the border. Again, it is about 3.5 hours away from Los Angeles. There aren't celebrities and there's not paparazzi hanging out in Chula Vista. So even if someone called the paparazzi, they would have to drive a solid 2+ hours to get there in time to get that video footage of him on the gurney at the hospital. That was perfect timing, okay? Now, I lived in San Diego, like I said, for over 20 years. I was at the Fashion Valley Mall in San Diego about 10 years ago, sitting in a busy food court, and my friend taps me and he goes, "Look." And I look over to my right, and I kid you not, Geena Davis, a very big celebrity, was sitting right next to me, and she was holding her child with sunglasses, and she was talking to a man just in the food court. You know, there was no paparazzi, there was no bodyguard. She's literally just sitting there 2 feet from me with her daughter and some person she was talking to. Now, people did stop and stare like, oh my God, it's Geena Davis, because in San Diego, we don't see celebrities every day because, again, we're not LA. But nobody bothered her. You didn't have people rushing to get an autograph. You didn't have people with their cell phone. There wasn't paparazzi. People turned around, stared at her, and then they just went about their business. People were respectful because, one, she was with her child. So when I say that there's not paparazzi on hand that you could just speed dial and they're going to be there in 5 minutes, guys, it's not happening in San Diego. So it is a little suspicious that on the TMZ video, and I'll have a link that was provided from the Royal Grift, you'll see on camera there's a gentleman speaking in Spanish to the paramedics who were, helping Mr. Markle. He even tells the people, oh, his name is Thomas. And you could see the workers working on him, and they're speaking in Spanish, and they started speaking in English, letting him know, hey, we're going to take care of you. And he looks, he has an oxygen mask on, but he does look coherent. He does look at the camera, and someone is clearly filming him who knows him. Now, my theory is the person speaks Spanish. It could have been Thomas's friend. It could have been his neighbor, because, again, Thomas lives in Rosarito, Mexico. If he has a medical emergency, he might have had to call his neighbor, and get him to the hospital. Now, I believe he was taken by ambulance, but his friend might have rode with him. So he could have very well had his friend film him and then immediately had that sold to Backgrid and up to TMZ. Now, I am not accusing Mr. Markle of doing anything wrong. I'm simply talking about a theory, so I am not accusing anybody. But you have to understand that was filmed by someone who knew him, because he told his name to the people who were working on him, and it happened as in real time. It was literally happening in real time. Again, he was in Tijuana and Chula Vista. These are not places that have paparazzi, on cue, waiting to be speed dialed to go down and take some photos and video. That was literally happening at the same time. Now, was it a hospital worker? I really doubt it, because let's be honest, if you're a hospital worker, you're going to be like, oh my God, it's Thomas Markle, Meghan Markle's father. You're going to take out a cell phone and maybe take a selfie, and you're going to put it on your Facebook, right? You're going to put it on your social media, or maybe you're going to text a friend. But who is really going to know, oh yeah, I can sell this for money, so let me call Backgrid and work out a deal and get it on TMZ. Most people don't have that hookup who work in a hospital. I haven't even heard of Backgrid until just a couple of months ago. So the average person who's working in a hospital or a bystander isn't going to have the wherewithal to know, this is a celebrity, I need to film it, and then I need to sell the photos to Backgrid, and I'm going to work out a deal with TMZ, and it's all going to be done within a couple of hours. Yay! I'm sorry, but this is not a novice, okay? So they were saying it was, quote, a leak from a hospital, and it could have been. Maybe a hospital worker told someone who told someone who told someone who called the paparazzi, and they went down there. But again, it's a very long drive from LA. So I think it was someone who knows Thomas. Now, I don't know if it was his son because I don't know if his son lives in Mexico or San Diego. I don't believe it was his daughter because I don't believe she lives in California. So again, I think it was a friend or a neighbor, someone who knows Thomas, filmed it, took photos, and had it sold. Now, whether Mr. Markle was involved in that, I don't know. We do know they were concerned about his medical bills because going by ambulance, guys, is very, very expensive. I don't know what his financial situation is, but they did mention to Dan Wooten they were very nervous about his hospital bills. So, hey, maybe he had his friend film it to say, hey, we got to pay these bills. I don't know. Again, I don't have anything negative to say about Mr. Markle. I hope that he's in good health, but it is a little suspicious how quickly there was a video and photos out to the press because, again, Chula Vista and TJ are not paparazzi celebrity centric. Most normal people who work in the industry of the hospital wouldn't think to sell the photos. So it has to be someone who is connected. Again, he has Carl Larson. So maybe a friend of Thomas was like, hey, I'm going to film this and we're going to pass it over to Carl to get it on Backgrid and TMZ. I don't know. But to me, that seems a little bit more likely than just a paparazzi who happened to be there and got the story of the night. You know what I mean? These things don't happen by coincidence. The same example of when Harry and Meghan were dining in Santa Monica, or when Meghan was out Christmas shopping with her bodyguard and the paparazzi just happened to get really close to her where his shadow was showing on the wall. Again, that's not happening, folks, okay? These are all paparazzi staged photos. Now, in regards to Mr. Markle, again, I'm not accusing him, but it does look a little suspect. So this is just my 2 cents on this story. Let me know what you think. Leave me your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. And please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And go over to the Royal Daily Tea website and check out my blog, as well as my Amazon storefront. I am updating it. And I hope to have my very first The Royal Bride series dropping this weekend. So I hope you guys are excited for that. As always, I appreciate y'all for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.